Welcome one and all to the explosively average 2019 playoff prediction video by a real-life amateur. Today we will take a semi-serious look at the final 12 teams from both the AFC and the NFC. First of all, I would like to thank AGK927 for being the first person to respond to my new channel. Thumbs up, buddy. So just to recap, last week I made my first ever prediction video that has a 66.6 recurring rate of success, which makes me above average. The games I got wrong I don't feel too bad about either, as I picked the Texans to get upset by the Jaguars before I knew that Jags had put the mistake known as Blake Bortles back in for one last shot, which resulted in the definition of their season, which is a giant flaming pile of shit. I picked the Giants to upset the Cowboys, which was a few minutes away from happening, and was an all-round exciting game of football, and I'm also not surprised that the Saints rested some of their players, having locked in the first seed and all, but I didn't see the Panthers coming alive after what seemed like an eternity of agonizing defeats. The last game I picked wrong was the Packers, and holy shit did I miss big on that one. A fucking shutout. Wow, at least Aaron Rodgers can wipe away his tears with $84 million. Anyway, the rest of the games went as expected, and after the dust has settled, we have the final 12 teams left standing. We have from the NFC, in descending order, the Saints, Rams, Bears, Cowboys, Seahawks, and the defending champs Eagles snuck their way back in. And then from the AFC side, we have the Chiefs, Patriots, Texans, Ravens, Chargers, and the Colts. 7 of these teams are new to the playoffs this year compared to last year, and we got some hot new teams ready to pull the pants down of the usually well-presented formula. Given how wildly inaccurate playoff predictions can be, I'm just going to ramble through my early picks and see how much damage control I have to do next week. So the first game of the 2019 playoffs is a divisional rivalry between the Colts and the Texans. Both of these teams have been outstanding to even make the playoffs this year. Texans started 0-3 and were almost statistically ruled out from even making the playoffs right there, and the Colts were 1-5 after week 6. I mean, fuck me, I've heard about dramatic comebacks, but that's just ridiculous. I love both of these quarterbacks and happy both of them have come back from horrible injuries last year, but out of the two I sense that Andrew Luck has embraced his wounded animal more and is currently in an unstoppable surge to take down all that dares to face him. I see the Colts winning this shootout with yet another comeback win. From the NFC, we have the Seahawks heading down to Dallas in what could be the game of the week. Similar to the Colts and the Texans, both teams could have rolled over, shit themselves, and died earlier in the season and nobody would have noticed. Both teams then realized they were a competitive football team and decided to flex on the haters and march their way into the postseason. Dak playing with his new toy Cooper while the defense punches you square in the mouth, and the Seahawks running approximately 82 different running backs, give or take a few, to lead the league in team rushing. With home field advantage, this should be a shoo-in for the Cowboys. However, if Russell Wilson gets his army of rushers going and successfully pulls off some play action, I think it'll be just enough to pull off the upset. I predict the Seahawks will win by 4 and move on to the next round. The following day we have the Ravens hosting the breeding machine known as Rivers. Whoever managed to get the Ravens a last-minute pick in the first round to snag Lamar Jackson must be jerking himself silly right now. The Ravens turned their season around just in time to take the AFC North and now get to host a team they bravely fought off and won against only a few weeks ago. Philip Rivers, the lean, mean breeding machine, has swung his mighty dick at every team they faced this year and almost took the 1 seed from the Chiefs, if not for some premature losses. The Ravens have a mighty defense and can run the fuck out of the ball, but I'm still waiting to see Lamar Jackson light up any team's secondary on a consistent basis. The Chargers will be back to full strength and looking for vengeance. If the Ravens don't get their passing game going, I predict the Chargers will win comfortably. The Ravens advancing would be an incredible story to tell, but Rivers will fuck his wife, your dreams, and your aspirations as he sees fit. And the last game in the first round, we have the Bears hosting the Super Bowl champion Eagles. I have been stuck in awe at watching the Bears continue to evolve as the season went on. Back at the start of November, I picked these guys to win the whole damn thing, and I'm still confident they can do it. The Eagles fell on the wayside for me as they struggled and rose and then fell like a drunken teenager who convinced you she could drink and surprisingly is still standing at the end of the party when nobody thought she'd make it. Following Nick Foles' incredible journey last season makes me want to believe again, and I would pick them without question if Foles didn't take a rib injury last week. This is the same team that destroyed the wall that was the Vikings defense last season when nobody said they would even make it past the Falcons. This is the hardest game to pick for me, but I'm going to stick with the Bears, but I'm willing to be humbled by the big dick Nick if he can get through his injuries. So that's my picks for the first round of the playoffs. I'll be posting my complete playoff predictions on Instagram before the first game starts, so if you want to see who I picked to win the Super Bowl, you can go check it out there. I'll be back next week to do a week 2 video with the teams that actually made it through and see how much damage control I have to actually do. Thanks again for stopping by. If you liked my video, please let me know in the comments and let me know your picks as well. This is Fletcher from Sports in General.